Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with another fault video, and today we're going to be talking about when you, the consumer, not the internal tester, content creator, or special person, can have a chance to play the next Paragon, aka Paragon 2, aka Fault, which is the one we're talking about today. Before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. A lot of my videos tend to get repetitive because people just don't watch the previous ones, and so I have to reiterate the same information over and over again. And that problem can be avoided if you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the videos when they come out. Because this question has been asked to me so many times when I thought that I've already given the answer so many times, but I guess I'll give it one more time in its own dedicated YouTube video. So if the stuff that I do put on this channel tend to help you out, then please subscribe. I don't want to starve. So we're doing it old school here with the whole stream pulled up, no editing here except for some cuts here and there. First things first, I want to talk about the early access time when you can actually play, and then I'll talk about what that will include, what they plan to have finished by that time. Now I want to reiterate, this is what they have planned to finish by that time. It doesn't mean that every single thing that you're going to see in this video will be done before the end of Q1, or it might not even come out in Q1. It might be delayed to Q2 depending on what happens. You never know when it comes to video game development. These dates are all tentative, so please keep that in mind. Don't get your expectations too high. I'd rather you guys just have low expectations from the get-go than get them super duper extremely high just to be disappointed when something gets delayed, because that happens all the time. So take this with a grain of salt and realize that these are all tentative dates. Now, early access time to be decided Q1 2020. This means before the end of March, before March 31st, or maybe even on March 31st. That's when they want to have early access available to everyone, which you will be able to purchase on Steam early access for what I'm assuming is going to be $30, because that's the same amount as the bronze key was during the Indiegogo fundraiser, which would give you the same exact thing. During this time, early access will release for PC users. There's no word for console for early access, and I doubt it will ever be there. So again, don't get your hopes up. They do have plans to bring Fault to console after they release it on PC. Here is the whole Trello roadmap, and as you can see in Q4 2020, they have their full release, asterisk, tentative asterisk, as I made it very clear earlier. This means that you can expect to see a console release after this full release, which again they're planning by Q4 2020, which means October, November, December-ish. So most likely, Fault, when it does come to console, will be for PS5 and Xbox Series X, or as I like to call it, the X fridge. Now here's the good stuff for Q1 2020, and in a perfect world where they get the early access out before the end of Q1, before the end of March, and they happen to include all of these things in there for your enjoyment, this is what will be in that package when you spend $30 on it. And we'll go over it. So first of all, everything you saw in the closed alpha will most likely stay the same. I say most likely because they do want to change up the item system, and they are reworking the internal systems and the code, and so that shouldn't affect too much stuff except for bug squashing and server stability and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual in-game content, this is what they plan to add. They plan to double the amount of current heroes in the game. Right now there are 11, and they will add 11 more. Howitzer, Feng Mao, FaZe, Kalari, Rampage, Gadget, Grux, Boris, Sereth, Sparrow, and Steel. Boris is actually early up on their list, so we might even see that in my streams and in other people's streams a little earlier, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with this kit because Boris was never released in Paragon. They also want to improve the faction system after all of the feedback that us testers gave them. They want to improve the item system. They want to add controller compatibility, which I know is very big for those of you who didn't want to wait for it to come to console and just bought a PC instead, but are still used to playing with the controller. This is a big one for you guys. They want to add weekly challenges to keep the game entertaining and fresh. They want to finish sound design because right now the sounds can definitely use a little bit of work. They want to add river buffs. They want to improve the hero animations, which is very, very broad in general. They want to finish adding 2D art to the items. Right now, all the items in the item shop at the making of this video have the same Fault logo as a placeholder. They want to start making custom 3D assets. So maybe we'll start seeing custom assets in the terrain, in the jungle, things that weren't in Paragon at any point ever, but stuff that Strange Matter Studios has originally created themselves. So that'll be interesting. They want hero-specific progression, so kind of like how we had mastery ranks back in Paragon, and they even want an esports page because these guys over at Strange Matter Studios realize how competitive MOBAs are and how awesome having an esports scene for MOBAs is, and so they want to try their best to get a jump start on that to make it as awesome as possible. And then you also have quarter 2 stuff here where they add more heroes, Shinbi, Iggy, they add rank play, they want an ARAM mode, smart casting, match replay, spectating systems, they want to start making custom skins by this time, make a crown progression system, and make custom emotes. Quarter 3 is going to have more heroes, and then quarter 4, like I said, full release, tentative, and also hero AI for training mode. Now, like I said, this isn't set in stone. It's not guaranteed that they will be able to pull all of this off in these time frames. And I want to be realistic with you guys. I want to keep it real with you guys. I want to be honest with you guys because that's how I always try to be. They initially wanted to release Boris in quarter 4, for example, right? That's when Omni added it. He's like, oh, hey, well, maybe we'll get this out in quarter 4. But they ended up not being able to get this out in quarter 4, so they moved it to quarter 1 of 2020 instead. Same thing with Steel. They wanted to have it done by quarter 4 2019, but they moved it to quarter 1 in 2020 because obviously we never saw Steel released into the game by December of last year, but Steel is coming up soon. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is that they've already had some slight delays, so don't be surprised if those slight delays occur again. So there you have it. That's when you will be able to play Fault before the end of quarter 1. Granted, if nothing goes wrong and they don't have to delay anything, that is their goal, and they are very, very hard set on it. Like I say, every single video, these guys work harder than literally any other people or group of people that I've ever talked to. It's actually insane at the rate of which they work because you can see their progress very, very, very rapidly occurring, and it's just awesome to see. So I have a lot of faith in them, and I do believe that they will be able to get it done. But worst case scenario, maybe it won't be at the end of March. It might be delayed a month or two, but we've all waited for this long. We can wait a little bit longer. I think it's going to be okay. They want to make sure that this game is fun and awesome and playable when it's released to early access. They don't want to release the buggy mess that is the internal testing right now. Even though internal testing is fun, it is filled with a lot of bugs, and it would not be considered a good early access if it were to be released right now. So it's not fair to you guys, and that's why they're working so damn hard to try and get it out. So please be patient, because a finished product is better than a rushed product. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like I said, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you did enjoy. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day. Peace.
Surely not.
Surely not. Whee! Oh my god!
I hit him with the bait, bro.